Good evening. My name is Shawn Austin, presenting a time series presentation of the Detroit Lions, which is an American football team, versus the rest of their division, the NFC North. This class number is Data 620, and my professor's name is Professor Carrie Beam of UMGC. In the slides, we ask ourselves in the time series presentation is how the Detroit Lions compared to the other NFC North teams by win percent, and if we can forecast, will they be able to overcome any deficits? So the question is, did the Detroit Lions compare? How do they compare and stack up compared to the other teams, and will they be able to overcome their losses? In this first slide, figure 1, it's a pair of bar charts that show how the Detroit Lions have won and lost to the other division teams since 1930. It's interesting to note that the Detroit Lions have lost to the Minnesota Vikings the most, and Minnesota being the newest franchise compared to the other teams by 30 years. So first started 1930, Minnesota was 1960. Figure 2 is a forecast prediction comparing the Lions, which is the blue at the bottom, and the NFC North, which is the other three teams at the top in the orange. And this is from 1995 to 2006, all the way out for the 5-year prediction we wanted to look at. We see that the prediction for the NFC is above 500, which is great, and then we see for the Lions, which is on par. As you can see, most of their scores, their winning percents are well below 500, and they look to be tracking that way. So I concur with this prediction. The shade is kind of all over the place, the bluish shade, because as you can see on their line, it's kind of just all over the place. They're not consistent at all. Here we have trend lines. As you can see, same information. The Lions are performing under 500, which means they win less than half of their games on average, while the other teams win way more than half their games and do better just overall. This also assists in proving that the slide prior and how the Lions are not going to improve in the next few years, as you can see by the trends. Same information, just average distribution that we can see. The top line on the chart is the NFC with 0.5481. Which is not bad and is a tighter confidence interval versus our Detroit Lions, which has a average of 0.3891 and the confidence intervals of 0.4611 172. You can see the differences there with the confidence intervals. Figure 5 is our last slide, and it's just a good binning of the wins of the last since 1930, and surprisingly enough, they have fallen within their more times above 500 since 1930, the 0.62, so not too bad. And not least is our references and all the information we were able to get to compile all these charts. Thank you for listening and have a great day.